Tonight's format is as follows. Each candidate has been asked to make a 2-minute opening statement. We will then have a question and answer period, and they'll have 1.5 minutes to answer questions, and then they'll end with a 1-minute closing statement. I think all of you here are aware we have note cards. If you have a question for the candidates, write them on there, hold them up, a league member will collect them. Please write legibly, put which race you're addressing, and please no personal issues on them. Make it so that both candidates can answer. I have asked each of the candidates their birthday, and the person who was closest to mine got to choose if they wanted to go first or second for opening or closing. And then when we get to the questions, I'm just going to start out alphabetical, and I'll do my best to make sure each of them gets to go first an equal number of times. So we will now begin. Let me introduce the candidates running for mayor of West Richland, Brent, Gerry, and Merle Johnson. And we're going to begin with Mr. Johnson's opening statement.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. I'd like to thank the League for holding this event tonight, and I'm glad to see you all out here. 10 days out of high school, I found myself at Fort Knox, Kentucky, in the Army. About 2 months prior to that, I got a handbook. I don't know if this thing, can you hear me? This thing's not working well here. I got a handbook about how to be a soldier. And fortunately for me, it helped me to perceive what it was going to be like when I got down there. This thing, I'm getting. Okay. So learning prior to going in was huge for me. I became a sergeant within a year. I was a squad leader of 12 people. I was a tank commander. I was nominated battalion NCO of the quarter, and many other awards. So pre-learning a position seemed to be the right thing for me to do prior to running for mayor. And it was very fortunate that the Association of Washington Cities put out an excellent handbook on how to become a mayor. So prior to running, I read this to make sure that I had the qualifications, the know-how, and the ability to take on a major task of being the CEO of the city of West Richland. It is no light matter at all. It had a lot of information like, well, now that you became mayor, what are you going to do? How are you going to do it? Who are you going to talk to? And so when you have an insight on what's going on prior to running, you feel comfortable in your own skin. Had a lot of information about how to be a successful mayor. Leadership. Big on leadership. Do you understand? That's 2 minutes? I kind of got busted up there a little bit.
Finish your thought.
So when I raised my hand in the military to give my life to the government, I also feel comfortable raising my hand to become the mayor of the city of West Richland. Thank you.
Thank you. I think my microphone is off, but that's, now it's on. Thank you. Mr. Gerry, your opening statement, please.
Thank you. I'd like to thank the League of Women Voters as well as all the other sponsors tonight. Thank everybody for showing up. And when Denise and I moved our family to West Richland 20 years ago, there was 4,000 citizens. Today there's 13,000 citizens, a 300% growth, and our projection in our growth continues to go up. So as the next mayor of West Richland, I have a vision, and I have a mission of how I'm going to take us into the future. My vision as mayor is a growing city where family values, community responsibilities are important. Our city should grow in a balanced way to produce a safe environment and community and have good residential and recreational alternatives and a healthy economic base. My vision as mayor, in partnership with citizens and public and private entities, is to provide a safe, healthy, and welcoming city where people choose to live and raise their families. Promote and support independent and flexibility as possible in meeting current and future service level demands. Provide high-quality customer service, innovation, a positive work environment, and a commitment to excellence that serves the needs of our citizens. Seek continuous citizen involvement through transparency in government, policies, and practices, thus ensuring citizen support of the city's strategic direction. I'm going to do this as a full-time mayor, which is going to continue to save the citizens $100,000 to $150,000 of revenue. Most all of you know the mayor's race has been fully contested, or has been full of controversy. In the Tri-City Herald, they even did an article warning people of deceptive campaign strategies such as Save Flat Top Park. I encourage everyone to vote, but make an educated vote. I encourage you to look at my website, Richland, BrentGerryForMayor.com, or the city website to find the facts and truth. I appreciate your vote, November 5th.
Thank you. Okay, folks, let's hold our applause till the end of the segment, and then I will thank both candidates, or all four candidates, and we can all applaud them all. Oh, is that better? A little further?
Sure it's not off my forehead?
Okay. We're going to turn to the question and answer, and Mr. Gerry, I'd like you to go first. I received 2 questions from the audience on the same subject. It says, the city borrowed over $2 million for the Shelby Car project, which also is called the SSC North America development. Apparently, it was supposed to be completed this fall, but it is not, has not started. And these people want to know, how is the city going to repay the $2 million loan, or how will we get our money back? So, Mr. Gerry, I'm going to start with you.
Thank you. At this point in time, things are still on the go. There are certain things that I have not divulged to discuss with the citizens or people at this point in time because some of this has been discussed in executive session. However, I can ensure you that the funds that in which the city is obligated to are in no jeopardy of going in default, and we do have alternative means if for some reason, which we do not feel there is any reason to have concern, that this project will not go through, to take care of the debt service that would be debted to us. So unfortunately, there's not a whole bunch I can expand on because of the executive portion of some of these issues. So be patient and things will move forward.
Okay, Mr. Johnson, your input on this?
Well, from what I've read, the city paid $1.6 million for 38 acres on Belmont and Keene, and then borrowed another $800,000 to make improvements. The CTED and HEFIC loans, and then they borrowed money from our sewer and water. If everything goes according to plan, could be a great thing. If it doesn't, I don't know. Time will tell.
Okay, thank you. Mr. Johnson, we'll start with you on this next question. It says, please give us your definition of rural lifestyle and describe changes you would make in our West Richland's rural lifestyle.
Well, being from a farm background, I love cows and chickens and whatnot and open space. One of the beauties of the city of West Richland, it does have a lot of open space, and it does have a lot of BLM grounds still up in Section 6 and Section 8. In order to enhance the quality of life in our community, and as I've talked to people, they enjoy the open space. So it's quite obvious that we need to continue to develop with that in mind, that new neighborhoods need to have parks, trails, green space. In developing a city today, planning is crucial, and the comprehensive plan is a tool that should be used and should be used wisely and not just develop and rezone at a whim, because it takes the people out of the process, and it is the people's city. Thank you.
Thank you. Mr. Gerry.
Thank you. And if you take a look at what rural is in the dictionary, I believe we've got Mayberry RFD. We've surpassed the rural part of it, but I still feel it's important for us to maintain and protect the rural lifestyle that our citizens are accustomed to. I have no intentions of changing the rural lifestyle that we have at the bottom of the hill. We actually have two cities here. We have the old West Richland with that rural atmosphere with the sheep, the horses, the cows, and that's a refreshing thing as everybody sees going up and down the hill. Up top of the hill, we have our newer type of city that we have following our Growth Management Act. Open spaces are a necessity, trails are a necessity, and I would follow the comp plan to make sure that we continue to grow and develop in the proper manner that we have in the past, while still maintaining the quality of life of our rural atmosphere.
Thank you. Okay, I have one more question from the audience, but I'm going to ask this one that the coalition prepared first. I'm not from West Richland, but I've been reading all the letters to the editor about both Flat Top Park and the location of the Griggs Ace Hardware. Mr. Gerry, I'm going to start with you. Pick one of those two. I'm going to assume that somewhere in there is the controversy that's been mentioned. And pick one of those and tell me your position on it.
I'll pick Flat Top Park because that seems to be the one that has my name slandered up and down the bombing range area there with Gerry save all of Flat Top Park. Flat Top Park is not in any danger of going anywhere. We had the council adopted a park plan provided by Pros Consultant, which unfortunately my opponent voted no to support. We purchased land adjacent to the park to 2.5 acres to enhance and develop the park when funds are available. Unfortunately, there again, too, my opponent voted no to purchase that property because he felt it was better suited for economic development. Unfortunately, his opinion of economic development in that area is not supported, so I kind of am confused in regards to how he comes up with that answer. Flat Top Park's not going anywhere. We're going to make it better when we have the funds to do so.
Thank you. Mr. Johnson, do you want to address that?
Hot button, ladies and gentlemen. When they talk about me not wanting that 2.5 acres, it's way out of context. If you'd have been there that night, you'd have known that they wanted to spend $750,000 on 5 acres to turn it into a park and ride. I said, are you out of your mind? I am not going to make a decision on any land in a meeting at this time. When you plan, you have to have a plan on how to plan. So I said, buy that land with general funds, and then when you come up with a plan that the citizens want, then go ahead and utilize that land to the best ability for the citizens. So you have to know the full picture, because I can take little bits and pieces also. Number two, Flat Top Park was part of a 65-acre rezone, and I was on the city council when I said, no, we are not going to rezone 65 acres from parkland or low-density residential. Thank you.
Okay, thank you both. This next question is addressed to Mr. Johnson. I'm assuming you can both comment on it. Could you talk to us about school safety lights?
Yeah, that's an interesting topic because on Paradise they built Enterprise Middle School, and on each end of Enterprise they put up the traditional flashing yellow light to tell you to go 20 miles an hour. Oh, a couple years into it, the Public Works Director says, I want to put up lights on Paradise so that the side streets, the people will know. And I said, well, that's a great idea. I don't think we should pay for it because we were tight on funds. I said the school board should kick in on that or not do it at all. It's not like I'm against safety. Again, you have to read or listen to the tapes to understand the full conversation. The lights were already there. These were additional lights. Thank you.
Thank you. Mr. Gerry?
The only comment that I'd like to make in regards to that is I'm reading the minutes of the meetings of the city council, and anybody can go to the city council minutes and read them for themselves. But number one priority to me is safety of our citizens and our children. So whatever measures are necessary to make sure that we don't cut any corners on safety for our children, I'm in favor of.
Okay, thank you. We're going to now move to closing statements, and Mr. Gerry, if you would please go first.
Thank you. Once again, I'd like to thank the League of Women Voters and Charter TV, as well as the other TV companies that are involved in this. You know, this has been a tough campaign for me because when I started politics 4 years ago, my wife said, "Whatever you do, Brent, bring what you can to the table. I will not tolerate slander. You will run a clean campaign." I had my opponent make a comment to me at a council meeting after a decision that council made, which he later called and apologized for. At that time, I also told him that I would not tolerate or be involved in slander. Yet my name up and down bombing range has been Brent or Gerry doesn't listen to people. That's a person's opinion. Gerry, save all the flat top part. Now, I really have a hard time when a candidate allows a campaign committee to personally attack an individual, because I thought it was all about what an individual can bring to a table, not what one thinks of another. And you know, it's too bad that there isn't a little bit more of that's going on about, you know, what either of us can bring to the table. On a lighter note, I'd like to thank the supporters of myself, Mayor Donna Noski, Mayor Pro Tem Rich Buell, Councilmember Tony Benegas, Ron Hayden, Gail Brown, and Robert Perks. And I'm most proud of the West Richland Police Officers Association believing that I am going to be the best next mayor to take them into the future. Thank you.
Thank you. Mr. Johnson?
Again, thank you for allowing me to speak tonight. When you look at somebody for mayor, you need to see their qualifications. I was on West Richland City Council for 6 years. I was on Oceana Soil and Water Conservation Board for 5 years. I've owned 3 businesses over the last 40 years. I've been a president of the Big Bend Horticultural Community. I've been the board of directors of Michigan Marketing, treasurer of the West Richland Lions Club, board member of Boys and Girls Club. I was in Class 12 of Leadership Tri-Cities. I was the president of the board for Leader Tri-Cities for Class 17. I was the president of Habitat for Humanity. I'm the president of Ignite Youth Mentoring. I've been involved in many community service events in the city of West Richland over the last 20 years. Brought ShareFest to the city for 7 years, Lions Club for 5 years. I've been a mentor for over 14 years. I've been involved with the chamber events for over 7 years. So when you look for a mayor, you look for somebody who has experience, has the qualities you're looking for, and somebody who is in the community, enjoys the community, and works in the community. I look forward to serving as your mayor over the next 4 years. I see a commitment to family, public safety, parks, and smaller government. Thank you.
Thank you. Before ending this West Richland segment of tonight, I want to explain what is going on with the other contested city council race in West Richland. When you receive your ballot, you will see the names Jay Bowman and Joanne Curtis listed as running for West Richland City Council Position 1. Neither of these candidates is here this evening. When I spoke with Mr. Bowman last month, he told me he had decided to withdraw his candidacy. However, he had not made that decision and notified the auditor in time for his name to be removed from the ballot. So while his name is still on the ballot, he has discontinued his campaign. Ms. Curtis was intending to attend tonight's forum until I told her we wouldn't be addressing that race since Mr. Bowman couldn't be here and we don't ask questions unless both candidates are here. I later contacted her and offered for her to come and make a statement on her behalf. She had already made other plans for this evening, but she did send a statement, which I will now read. I am Joanne Curtis, and I am running for the City of West Richland Council Position 1. About me, I have been a resident of West Richland for over 20 years. I'm married with 3 adult children. I have a master's in business administration from St. Leo University, and currently I am the executive director for a local nonprofit. I have been active in city government for 10 years, and these activities give me a clear understanding of city government. I currently serve on the city's Planning Commission and Board of Adjustment, and previously served 7 years on the city's Economic Development Board. I want to serve the citizens of West Richland in order to preserve our community's quality of life. This includes preserving the existing neighborhoods' characteristics, support and improve the existing use of the city's recreation areas, and working with local businesses in public or private partnership to improve the existing commercial zones. It is essential to receive the community's ideas and comments and integrate them in city planning. I will make sure that the citizens' current safety and community spirit is not overlooked when making a decision. I believe the city needs to manage its resources wisely. This includes building a budget which minimizes the need for increasing taxes, fees, or adding to the city's borrowing. I welcome comments and questions. You can contact me at joanne.curtis@gmail.com or www.joannecurtis.com or 509-539-6341. So let me again thank these candidates who are running for mayor of the city of West Richland, Brent, Gerry, and Merle Johnson.